What's going on, everybody? Part 8 of the budget Xbox One S water-cooled build. So, as you can see, looking at from the top, we've got the section cut out that will fit around our pump. It's a little bit skewed this way because I need to trim this tubing just a tiny bit. It's kind of pushing the whole thing a little bit. I haven't tacked this down yet. I wanted to tack it down once I trim this and have that set up right. So as of now, we've got our 90-degree here going straight down. That's going where it loops around here into our radiator. Okay, then through our water block. Then that comes out of our water block straight back up into here. Now I decided to go ahead and swap out oh, of course. I don't know where I put it. Haha, here it is. So I was using this double port, and I had to use the top one in order for that to work to fit down there. The bottom one would just be too close, and it would kind of go straight down into our disk drive. So I just went with the single one, and the reasoning was I was trying to figure out if I wanted to put the 90 up here and kind of use this as a fill port, and then have some kind of three-way fitting, or use one of the other ports as like a drain port. And I decided I don't really want to do that over here because it's easy to kind of spill something into the system, even if you got paper towels there. Plus, you wouldn't be able to fill it up really all the way from this one, as the reservoir goes all the way up, and you kind of want to fill this up all the way. So this was sort of my solution. I've got a three-way fitting here. So on the one side it's plugged into the reservoir, and then this side is the return, and then this side would be the fill/drain. Now I still think I'm going to rotate this way 90 degrees, so it's still plugged into here, but then that will move the extra port onto the front. That way it'll still kind of 45 up this way. You can fill it from here, just put a little paper towel or little hand towel or something right here just to make sure any spillage just gets on the towel. And then this is also a rotary, so you could then turn it downwards, or we can even put, I guess, the other 90-degree fitting on that front, which would probably be better, since if the port's on this side, this would no longer be, this is only a 45, so it would only be up kind of on an angle. Still be kind of hard to fill it up unless you tilt the whole system back. But if we have something like this on the front, again, I would still want to add a little bit of an extension up here, just so that it's raised up at least at the level of the reservoir, so that you could actually fill it up all the way. Again, you still might have to tilt the system upwards to fill it. That's not that big of a problem. Again, you could still just shove towels under here in case you spill anything. I would recommend some kind of funnel, or I don't know, yeah, just some kind of funnel, or I use these like eyedroppers. Once I get most of the water in there and it starts getting up to this level, then I'll just use a little bit at a time until it's topped off. But yeah, that way also you can still rotate this downwards. And again, you might want to put a little towel or something here. But then all you got to do is tilt the system forward and you can drain the whole thing out. So we'll see if we're going to use that one or that one. But I am proud of getting this part done. You can see I kind of cut out the shape all the way around this pump like that. And then it kind of goes, where are we here? Inwards just a little bit to go around our reservoir. And like I said, this would be moved over a little bit. This is just tight here. I'll have to trim. Otherwise, everything else on the inside we have completely connected up. We've got cable ties around it just for extra security on all of our barb fittings. We've even got our temperature display, which I haven't quite pushed in all the way because it'll be a pain to get it back out. But basically, it's already kind of a pain. Basically, you can easily feed this through this hole. There's enough wiring. Let that sit down as you get the top put all the way on. And then once that's bolted in, all you got to do is pop this temperature display in. You're good to go there, and then you're ready to fill up the system. And I have decided probably against keeping this on here. I still could ship it that way. It wouldn't be hard. These are just Phillips head screws. Once you get it, you could then just unscrew these, and then I would include these washers instead, just because these screws are a tiny bit too long. You don't want it to go all the way in and damage like the fins on our radiator. But put it in once it's shipped, so you can take this off and just put these on there. That way the fan is fully exposed, you can read everything clearly, and most importantly, you can then, and this is just the USB part, okay, so there's another cable that'll plug into here, and then it plugs into the center of this fan, and then the other end is just USB into your computer. And of course it's going to include this and the disc. Plus on the disc it just gives you the website where you can download the program if you don't have a disc reader or something. And it's literally just a basic code program where you can type in whatever phrases or symbols that you want. It will do 4 or 5 different symbols, and then in between it just shows the temperature. So yeah, we have both fans, we've got our pump wiring through. Again, this is one fitting that you have to actually remove before you can take the whole top back off to service it or clean it out or whatever. But yeah, so like I said, we're done with this. As you can see, I got all the sticky residue from the stickers off over here. There's no more weird gunk going on in those little holes there. We gave the whole thing a nice bath, scrub down with some goof off and just some regular soap and water, and blew the whole thing dry. I went ahead and masked off our little button here. I'm not worried about this one, and I don't really care about the trim bezel. It's just plastic around the inside of the disk drive, because first thing we're going to do is primer the whole thing in flat black anyway. Then we're going to go ahead and add in all of our color shift paint, maybe a little bit of flake on top, just to give it a little something extra. Like I said, we're kind of going for that space sort of theme, so I want to try to stick to the bluish purpley color shift, and then add the little sparkles just to like kind of look like the stars in the night sky or something like that. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do now. I'm going to take this off, rotate it to 90 degrees, make sure that's set. I will probably, since you can actually see a little bit of the DVD drive through here, and I'm not going to paint the DVD drive, we're just going to find a couple like little space stickers or like a spaceman sticker to put on the DVD drive that you'll be able to see through this instead of just the weird sticker and bare silver on there. Other than that, you shouldn't be a problem finding anything else. Probably even could have cut this a little bit shorter, as this is angled down more, and this extra little room there isn't super necessary, but hey, went ahead with one of those metal files and kind of cleaned up all of our edges there, and I'll do that one more time and just give it an air dust, blow it off all the dust, and then we'll go ahead and primer this. Oh, and I meant to do this first in the video. We got a couple packages here we're just going to open up real fast, because unboxings are just always fun. We got some parts in. Alright, so as I said, two of my favorite sites, Performance PC and Frozen CPU. It's the only place I can find these kinds of temperature displays that aren't just the blue ones. They actually have XSPC and Phobia ones. But anyway, Performance PC also has a YouTube, or not a YouTube, a eBay page where they're trying to get rid of the rest of their clearance. Now, Frozen CPU, you have until September 25th to keep doing orders. But as I said, I'm doing the inverted build on my personal Xbox One S, the non-budget one, and so we've already ordered some stuff for that. This is a 140mm fan, clear with red LEDs. That's what we're going to use. And a spoiler alert, we're using a 140mm radiator instead of a 120. And here, there you go. Got another one of these pumps, same style pump that is on this one. Now this one I plan to use in the non-HDMI water-cooled 360 Fat. and this was the cheapest one I can get. Like I said, these ones just for the pump go for anywhere from like $68 to $100 or more. And since they had this on clearance, I got this for like 40 or 50 bucks. This is the cheaper one because it comes with just the plastic bottom. But as you know, we have inside here that came with this pump top. It still came with the metal shrouding for the bottom and the little finned heat sink. See if I can dig that out. The little like heat sink style, but that's metal. So that's why I only needed this pump, and I didn't care getting the cheapest one that had the plastic bottom, because we'll be putting these metal ones on. Plus I have already a pump top for it. I probably won't use this one. I have an all black one I'll use, and that's going to be for this build here. So that's what's going to kind of sit right back here, and then we'll use that big boxy reservoir on this side. And of course, I ordered another one of these pumps. This is for the Eyeball Xbox, but I have another identical one that I'll be using in this non-budget build, because I know that style pump does fit on the inside. So pretty cool. But anyway, let's go ahead and get our other one ready for paint. Alright guys, you got our flat black our black primer laid down. Looks pretty clean. Couple little specks of dust in here. We know I don't have the best painting quarters, but this is meant to be sanded if we need to. I was able to fill in those every little hole pretty nicely. So then what we're going to do is kind of do a mix of these color shifts here. And like I said, I want to do a little bit more of a reddish, I think. Maybe we'll try a little of the purple. I don't know if that's going to work, but I'm going to kind of do a mixture of these two. This is like a bluish, greenish, purpley color shift. This one's kind of a red, almost like a greenish tint. And then we'll see if we can add a little bit of this flake over it just for a little flair. And oh boy, hopefully I've got enough clear coat. I knew I should have grabbed one of those. I ran out of primer, so I had to run back and get more for the second coat. But, oh well, we'll see. If anything, we'll let this dry overnight, do the triple thick, and then, yeah, this will pretty much be the entire part 8 of this video, is painting this. We already have the bottom piece, like I said, that we're using. And once we at least get a little color shifts and everything done, it will need to fully cure for a few days anyway before I want to put it all back together. So, yeah. We'll check back again when we add the other colors to it. Alright guys, just went ahead and laid down the red color shift over the black. Hard to see on this camera from this angle, but I really like it. It's very red, so I think we're just going to try to do a very light coating of the blue-green color shift over it and just see how that turns out. Alright guys, let's see if we can pick this up. So I did the blue over it. I tried to kind of mist it on there. Probably should have my camera light on to see it better. Then I put a very dusting layer of that obnoxious color shift I used on the GTA Xbox and the Tony Hawk Xbox, just to give it some crazy sparkles in there. And then I went over it again fairly heavy with the reddish color shift. So you can see from this side, it's nice and red, transfers to a greenish blue, and still kind of a reddish blackish color over here, just to kind of give it that like midnight galaxy looking color. And I'm going to let this cure. We'll get a good look at it in the light time. Once it's fully dry, we'll go ahead and put a nice sealer over it tomorrow morning. let that completely dry, and then we'll put this one all back together. Other than that, everything else is in place. I mounted the pump, cable tied all of our fittings and everything, made sure it was all tight. We've got, I spliced together our 2 fan cables so that can go into one 3-pin, and then the other 3-pin is open for our pump. And then, yeah, be able to slap this on, add some water, and give it a good test. Alright guys, got my torch light on. Hopefully it gives it a good, it looks very blue in this one. There is a lot more red, especially on certain extreme angles, and you got a bunch of that extra flake from that black color shift. And this is just gonna look, I think, freaking awesome. Kind of like this deep galaxy effect, hopefully sort of similar to the controller shell. There you go. I'm gonna let this cure overnight, and I'm gonna put that triple glaze over it. Make sure it looks nice and shiny and protected. And then, yeah, otherwise everything else is in place, ready to go. Got all the tubings hooked up. The only thing, actually I will probably, actually no, I cannot connect this tubing to the front of the reservoir yet. This has to go over it, and then we'll screw the tubing on and put the fittings on. And then, because it'll stick up just over this, but it's the one I'm putting on is a little bit fatter than what I had cut out originally. For that 90 degree going down, but now that it's got the multi-ports, so we can drain and add from that part of it. So yeah, that's gonna look really cool. Can't wait. Thank you guys for watching. Probably won't show the next video or next part for this. This will be the final part. The next one will be this being actually placed on the system, all the screws put in, and we'll go ahead and fill it up with water, test it out, and it'll probably also be the sale listing video, maybe it'll just be the final product. And then, like I said, I'm going to keep this for at least a week or so, test it out, make sure everything's good, check our temperatures and everything like that. So, thank you guys for watching this video. Next up, we're diving back into, well, actually, I got a couple other videos showing some other systems I got, but one is the solution for our Eyeball Xbox. We have one brief little build before that, and then I have everything prepped and ready to go to show us finally, once again, putting the Eyeball Xbox all back together and getting that tested out. So thanks for watching. Have any questions? Comment. If you like this video, like it. If you want to see more, subscribe. See you guys in the next video.